If you look at the analyst from Bank of America, their head metals analyst who talks $300 gold, silver potentially by the end of the year, uses the silver gold ratio as his guide. And Michael Oliver, with his $500 silver call by some, uses the ratio that it's imbalanced from a historical standpoint. It's at 60 to 1 right now. It's averaged about 40-ish, 42 to 1 for a very long time, for the majority of the time over the last 150 years. But when that time comes, if it's in an IRA or in a storage facility, it becomes very easy. If it's not in an IRA, it's in your possession. We'll lock in both sides of the order simultaneously, send you FedEx air bills, as I told Jared this afternoon, and help you ship it back, and then ship you back your gold. It's literally that simple.
And I would say almost the majority, unless you're holding on to 5 1,000-ounce silver bars or 3 kilo gold and 100-ounce gold bar, we're not reporting to the IRS. Of course, you as a law-abiding tax-paying citizen, that is your obligation to do that, but we're not going to report it on the 1099-B.
Yeah, and I just think all of the volatility we've seen in silver meshed with the deliveries by the most sophisticated traders in the world betray the price rhetoric. And as I said on Jared's show today, any asset that is repricing itself won't be orderly. It'll be chaotic. And that's what we're seeing right now. There will come a time to make that trade. For those who bought in March of 2020, it was 120 to 1. It's now halved. So you could get twice the amount of gold you could buy then. But I think you'll see it drop considerably. That would be the thesis that both Michael Oliver and the lead analyst from Bank of America.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we talked about it, and last week I said that, I think we're going to wake up one day and we're going to see silver up $5-10. Last week we did see silver make a surge, and we were at $89. I mean, we were teetering on 90, and then bam, smoked us down.
But there is someone buying it.
Yeah.
They're not letting it drop out of the 70s. So that's support.
Yeah. For now, it's support. Like Mark said, it could fall further, but I feel like this time is different. I think that we've traded enough here in this level. When we first saw silver skyrocket, go parabolic from December to January, we talked about it. We said it's not going to continue like this. Everything that goes up like this has to have a downturn.
Well, and don't confuse rising rates with an inability to own metals, because rising rates, if the currency was strong and stable, fine. The currency is anything but strong and stable, and the fiscal irresponsibility of our administration is historic. And so when you talk about rising rates into a currency that nobody wants to hold, or treasuries that no one wants to hold, it's really, if you go and look at how gold moved all the way up, it moved up in 1980 into rising rates.
Right.
It wasn't until Volcker raised rates to 18% that he was able to squash the gold bull. Can you imagine what 18% rates would do to this economy?
Oh, my Lord. I mean, no. What do you think of 1/10-ounce gold pieces to stack? Should I stick with 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce? If you're going to do fractional, actually, for me, I love the 1/10s.
Me too.
They're pretty much my favorite in fractionals. I guess it's probably because I was taught by you.
I love the 10.
But they're the greatest. I actually don't even look at halves, to be honest. To me, I'm either going to go 1 ounce or I'm going to go 10ths.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the way I stick to it.
Whether you're playing poker or living life or driving on a crowded highway, you can never have too many outs or exits or options. The 1/10-ounce Eagle is by far my favorite choice. There's a hefty premium, but I will say this, that it's the one gold item above all else that has maintained its premium my entire career. There's big demand for them, so I like them.
No question. All right, let's get one more, and then we got to bring Jared up here. Abel in Vegas, does Miles Franklin offer vaulting services for precious metals similar to SD Bullion for direct purchases? We absolutely do. We have the exclusive agreement and arrangement with Brinks. We have 4 now in the United States and 3 in Canada.
No, we have Miami too if it's American Eagles.
Yeah, only if it's U.S. minted.
Yeah, so we have New York.
Room there?
Yeah,
really?
If it's American Eagles.
I want to move somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to. We should drive there.
I did.
You drove there?
No.
Without me?
No.
Okay.
I've been there.
We should do that next week.
It's right across the street from Trump Doral.
Okay.
Why don't
Well,
you set that up?
Why don't we do that?
So,
By the way, I can't.
oh, that's right. Damn
Yeah.
it. Well, you can
What
be
am
a
I,
caddy.
Yeah, with
A
a cart.
one-legged
Yeah,
caddy.
a one-legged caddy that can't play golf.
So yes, we do. We have Brinks vaults in Miami, New York, Dallas, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. I've chosen to do it a little bit differently than SD, who is one of the best companies out there. I have no qualms with them at all. Nothing but respect. And also for James Anderson, a hell of a commentator in the space. They, as far as I know, their vault is on premises. Now, if I'm wrong, please forgive me. I think it is now. I could be wrong. We use Brinks, and I wanted to have the wall in between
The Chinese wall
yeah.
between us and depository.
between church and state.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got
and but yes, it's with Brinks, fully insured, fully segregated and audited, and
by the way, the thing that's most important about the Miles Franklin program is that it goes based on weight, not against the value.
on gold it does, yes,
Yeah,
and it's fixed for 1 year at a
Right.
time.
Which
It used
is
to be
very-
fixed indefinitely, now it's 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
Here's where things stand now. The speaker just connected several major dots most people still treat separately. First, some of the biggest names in metals analysis are using the gold to silver ratio to argue silver could massively outperform gold if that historical imbalance starts correcting. Second, the violent swings you're seeing in silver aren't random. They may be part of a larger repricing process where institutional money is quietly accumulating underneath the volatility. And the key point is this: rising interest rates alone don't kill precious metals if confidence in the currency itself is breaking down. That's exactly why comparisons to the 1970s are starting to matter again. But the next part of this conversation is where things get even more interesting, because once you understand how fast sentiment can flip in hard assets, you start seeing why some investors believe silver's real move may not have even started yet.
So, and if you need any information on whether it's metals or the storage, please send an email to info@milesfranklin.com, and one of the very knowledgeable brokers will be back in touch with you extremely soon. I think with that, we have to get to Jared because he's been patiently waiting.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to bring him on. Jared, there you go.
Hey guys.
Oh, finally,
I got to tell you,
finally somebody good looking.
I got to tell you
screen.
something funny.
Yeah.
Evansfeld left his camera on. Can you only imagine?
Yeah.
There was a very good friend of mine. This is a true story. Well, I can't even say it.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right
It's
forum.
probably not the right forum. Let's just say something very bad happened during a bat mitzvah
during the pandemic.
and he left his camera on. And I'm not joking about this. So this was everywhere throughout Minnesota.
It was on the news. It was in the newspaper.
When I was playing golf a few weeks later in Scotland, it was on the cover of the Scottish Post. So help me God. On the Scottish Post, they showed a picture of it.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was sensational.
Yeah.
We can't really talk about it.
Can you only imagine?
We'll give it to
You guys
Jared
can all
after.
figure out
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It was,
On the screen behind the, with 400 little girls. And
but they saw this big picture of
Yes.
something that they shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
So in any case, Jared, welcome.
Mark, you should shut
Welcome.
your camera off there, brother.
Thank you guys. Well, if
Yeah.
you see a green light or a red light, it's on.
Yes, there you go. Right.
And if you don't see it, close the screen because it's
Yeah, I
probably
think a
still
lot of
on.
people used to think they used to do the
Put the
little
tape over.
pitch
Yeah.
with the tape over it, and sometimes the tape falls off. So there you go. What's going on, Jared? How you been, buddy?
Jared is
Good.
an acting surfer. I was on his show today. I'm on twice a month with Jared. Very smart guy. His family's been in banking forever. He is a wealth of knowledge. Jared, what's going on with you today, brother?
So one, I'm finishing the edit. So we'll either get that out now or it'll be tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully after your show's done, we'll get the video out. But for me, I'm getting, I'm in the process of trying to relocate myself a little bit. So I've been doing this for 3 years. And for 3 years, people have been telling me to get out of California. So we're in the process of trying to make that a reality. I love California. The state's awesome. The politics, not so much. The taxes, even worse. So I move pretty much anywhere out of the state, except for maybe a couple states north of us or New York. And I get about a 35 to 40% raise instantly. just
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah. The same thing was true out of the state of Minnesota, which seems to be the butt of all these jokes. And it goes to show part of the bigger issue that I have felt is causing problem with markets, the problem with politics, the problem with geopolitical things. It's one word, it's trust. And when you look at the way that both California and Minnesota have squandered the trust of the taxpayers by doing things like building that light rail to nowhere for billions of dollars, or what, all of the money that was gone to help, the homeless and whatnot in California, and where did it go? Why is there such a literally an epidemic with that? Or in Minnesota, the billions and billions of dollars that have gone to God knows where in Mogadishu instead of feeding children and daycare centers that are empty. It's awful. It truly is in these blue states. And what's even crazier to me is that there's no real outrage by the constituents in California. At least I don't hear it, or the constituents on the left side in Minnesota. I grew up in a house that was right out of that 70s show. And I understand lifestyles. Liberalism to me was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was being a hippie. It was, free love and, do what the hell you want. Now it's anything but that. So yeah, I would encourage you to go eastward, my man. Go eastward.
Yeah.
What's on your radar screen these days, Jared?
So So here's what I'm looking at. So one, if I sell my home, I've got good equity in my house. I got to make a big decision pretty fast. Do I leave it cash? Do I go into bonds? Do I put it in the stock market? Do I put it into gold? Do I put it into silver? What do I do with it? And so that's one of the things that's on my mind right now. So even with having a channel on gold and silver investing, in stacking, I'm watching charts very closely. So
aren't you? It's tough.
A little bit, yeah. To what Tattoo's saying too, right? So I may also be doing a career move here soon too. So for me, it's also one of those things where I need to stay somewhat liquid even before a home sells. I don't know how fast it's going to sell.
If you've made it this far, you probably understand something most investors still don't. The real story isn't just silver volatility. It's the growing loss of trust underneath the financial system itself. The speaker tied together several things most people never connect. The historic imbalance in the gold-silver ratio, aggressive buying underneath silver despite violent sell-offs, and the reality that rising rates don't matter much when confidence in the currency is fading at the same time. And once you start viewing silver not just as a commodity, but as a monetary asset reacting to instability, the moves start making a lot more sense. Because the next phase of this story may not be about whether silver goes higher. It may be about what happens if confidence in traditional assets breaks lower at the exact same time.